Nah, we're fine. All right, we're live. We're good. Nah, we're fine.
All right. Oh, blanking on the name. M&A&D&D episode 64. The Luskin Raiders.
Such a dumbass. Love it.
When last we seen M&A, they had just slain the great white dragon and left its lair of Ugachaka, headed back south with Macatha the Crimson, a member of the Arcane Brotherhood, who they had helped rescue from the clutches of the dragon. Although she was kind of there, she wasn't so much a prisoner as she was
Unpaid intern.
Yeah, as she was happy to be combing through all of the.
She was dealing with Stockholm
the
syndrome.
books.
She liked being there, even though she had her eyes ripped out. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. When you left, it seems as though you had been followed by another white dragon who had made an attempt to down your airship. In the midst of the battle, your amazing Minotaur captain rushed to his aid of his first mate and seemingly sacrificed himself in order to buy you time to get away. With the ship Tom Petty in a bit of disrepair, your captain gone, and your first mate in a bit of dire straits in recovering. Some of you took to manning the ship so you guys can continue south to Luskin. We're going to pick up kind of where we were last on the ship. Oh, and I could stop that. Music. I can hear music again, guys.
Hey, music's working.
It's kind of nice. All right, so let's see here. We can clean this up a bit. Nice. This guy's gone. Your gorilla is gone?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he sticks around until the next dawn, but if we say it's been past that point, then yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Again, floating as the sun starts to rise. You guys drift through the air south. The sounds of the sea of moving ice start to shrink behind you as even the temperatures here up in the airs start to drift away, like start to heat up and warm. You look out over the deck of the ship. The crew is still somber as they kind of reflect on the going-ons of the last of the previous battle.
Is LeChamp still bedridden?
Depends, because there was some talk about at what point do you guys want to put this next part? The fight just ended. I'm assuming it's the next day, so the champ is in the captain's quarters.
Yeah, because we run after the fight.
Yeah. At some point after, taking whatever rest I can, and splitting time to helm the ship for now, I'll go check in on LeChamp, just to see how she's doing.
You walk into the captain's quarters. There's small embers still kind of burning in the fireplace that's aboard this captain's quarters in the ship. On this massive bed that's in there, you just see kind of just like just looks like lumps underneath this bedding. As you
I
walk
would
closer,
assume I
Yeah,
would see Astrid in there.
Astrid's been spending basically every time that she's not on shift in there, just making sure that everything's going okay.
um, yeah, it's in the middle of this bed is just kind of this tiny figure, this bed built for a minotaur, and you see this tiny little Lachamp still looking pale with beads of sweat across her brow. Inside is a familiar face, Astrid, as she takes care.
How's she doing?
I've seen worse, but I think her recovery will take some time.
Uh,
It's not just the outer wounds that ail her, unfortunately.
yeah. Um, I'll reach down and put my hand on Lechamp's shoulder and just say, know that we did what we could, and we went back and looked. But we also knew that we couldn't risk more than we did to risk losing his sacrifice, protect the rest of us. And we will do everything that we can to try and either, if he's still out there, we'll find him, or we'll avenge him. And with my hand on her shoulder, I'll cast a Cure Wounds and then take my leave.
Or you get the sense that not everything you said was as she seems to kind of drift in and out of consciousness, but as you cure wounds on her, lay your hands on her, she has kind of a moment of clarity, and she looks into your eyes real softly, and just like this little
Discuss.
turn of the sides of her mouth kind of raise up in you, and before she nods back up, she knows that you guys did what you could.
And then I will return to my post and continue to helm the ship for now. At least for the day.
Say, well, while you were down there, Arendor had been helming the ship for a little bit, and you could take his post quite easily if you wanted to.
Arendor, you doing all right? You need a break?
He doesn't quite speak, but he does let you. He just kind of turns his beak down and then motions for you to take over.
All right. Just come back when you're ready. Get some rest.
This Arendor, who had been a bit of your buddy on the ship, as you guys kind of took turns navigating, showing your guys' prowess with navigation and the like. He's very somber and sulking a bit, and he just goes over to the first step off to your left and puts his back up against the railing and puts his beak in between his knees. You do what you can to not look, but you sense there was just some sobbing as you see his shoulders kind of shake.
That's all I'll do for this evening.
I will. Oh, sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
I was gonna be quick and just kind of backtrack what we did off stream. I will take out a pearl that I have. I've had it for a while, and now that I'm delving deeper into the arcane, and we have all these new items, we're going to use the pearl as sort of like this identifying focus and cast identify on all the items that we had found. And it takes 10 minutes, but I can identify each of the items, and I know like their history and what happened to them, and what properties they have, and then I make some notes about all of them, and then I bring all the items with the notes to everybody over the course of the day to kind of divvy them out as we see fit. And those items were a headband of intellect, a lyre of building, the mace of terror, a dragon slayer weapon, and a berserker's axe. And yeah, so I'll work in the engine room, and when I'm not working doing some engine room stuff, I'm going to be doing a little bit of research with McCath and doing some more like arcane study, just trying to double down and learn, take the first steps as a wizard right now, and kind of get, I feel like I have a lot of catch up to do. So I'm just kind of just being head down in a book.
You had mentioned the lyre, right?
The lyre, yeah.
When you begin to distribute these items, Usk steps in. Hold on. Hand that over to me.
Can you use it? One of the properties on it is that it's.
I've used it already once.
Oh.
Thought we repaired the ship.
I didn't realize that you were of the bardic persuasion.
Like I said, hand it over.
Waiting for someone else. Is Valen around?
I'm.
Okay.
I don't think I'm nearby you guys, because at this moment I probably would be down at the dock. I mean, at the under
Okay.
deck.
I didn't know where you were. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been distributing this not necessarily up top, but
It doesn't matter. The conversation remains. He had it last, so if you're trying to distribute it, it would involve him. McCath came up with him, and he used it.
Right.
To help repair the ship.
Right. So I wouldn't have been able to take it away from him. I would have been identifying it from him, if that makes sense.
Well, you had said you distributed the items, so that's what.
Well, let's just say I distributed the other items, but then he still has that one. I just identified it.
Okay.
I don't have a way to forcefully removed it in this scenario. I wouldn't have forcefully taken it from him because we've already established that he has it right now. But
right.
I could have cast identify on it and then learned everything about it. And then made a note about it.
Right. I guess I'm just only speaking of the part where you said you redistributed all of them.
I was just trying to backtracking on how the items got distributed across end of last week when we were on stream, and kind of giving some flavor text to how identify works. So he still has it. That's fine.
So he tucks it under his robe and he walks away. He's a little colder to you than he had been earlier. He's gonna go back downstairs to shovel his coal, and he remains there for most of this next journey. Over the next day or two, this is gonna take several days. So, if nothing needs to be done tonight, we can wait till the next morning or next day.
Oh, well, this is just an in general thing. I guess since I'm spending so much time in the captain's quarter, can I just kind of glance around and I've only been in there briefly, and it's always been very task focused. I just kind of want to look, not disrespectfully like looting, but like I just want to take a look around. I just want to like see.
So it's even in the day, it still kind of has this dark atmosphere to it. Real. I want to say it remains cozy. There's furs on the grounds, but there isn't a lot of pomp or frill. The captain, as you expect, he was stoic and simple. You know, he was the type of person who could eat steak and potatoes every day. There was a sense of simplicity to him.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look around, you do see that there are maps on the walls, and there's one particular item on a desk, and it's kind of like a copper globe, but made of bands. And as you turn it, there's these gears that kind of like pull lines that stretch and kind of like bend around it. And then when you rotate it back, they kind of move into a different location. You can adjust those from time to time, or you can adjust those to your likings. Seems like some kind of intricate way of global navigation.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't want to mess with this stuff. It seems a little, ugh. But do I happen to see any sort of like holy symbol or religious something or another?
What languages do you speak?
That's a good question. Common and undercommon.
Okay. There is a journal sitting on the bedstand, the nightstand next to it. It's not in a language you recognize, but you do recognize one symbol. You've come across it in your time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a religious symbol.
Okay.
Um, it seems to like kind of celebrate Tyr.
Okay. Interesting. Cool.
Thanks.
Good to know. I'll just make sure everything's back. I don't want to like back where it was sitting. I'm not intent on snooping or anything. I was just curious.
Okay.
Are we
Anybody
moving
else?
into like the next? So I would have something that I would want to do like in general on the trip back, but like it doesn't have to be at a specific time.
Just let me know if you're done with this day, because that way we'll start moving them along.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good
I'm
with
good.
this.
Galen, do you want to do anything?
I wouldn't suppose Maquette will have any progress on decoding, deciphering her scriptures and lores.
At this point, well, it's been a really hectic
Only 2
24
days,
hours
huh?
on it. Yeah, 24
Yeah.
hours on
Okay.
the ship.
No, it's
So
okay. Then I'll just keep. You know what? No, I'll just keep to myself for now.
okay. So everybody in shifts kind of like rest for the night. Um, and as you know, the dawn breaks. Again, you guys seem to be moving further and further away from that sea of ice, that bitter cold. You feel for like the first time like the actual heat of the sun as you guys are above the clouds. your second day begins um on the airship headed to Luskin.
Would
Seems
I
as though-
know?
Uh-huh.
Would I know how many days roughly it would take us to get there on the airship?
To get to there, yes, because you had already previously been at where was that?
10 towns.
10 towns. And so you're passing over 10 towns here shortly within the like next several hours. So it'll be like a couple days to get to Luskin, and then
Okay.
there'll be about a week to get back to.
Waterdeep from there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Cool.
So the following day, the crew is still kind of moping around, doing their tasks. Astrid, you hear just this kind of tiny voice. Hey there. Feeling a little
What?
bit better.
That's good to hear. We were all worried about you.
I and the captain.
He, we couldn't find him.
That asshole. I'd rather let me drag me to the frozen abyss than damn him. She just kind of rolls over into her bed, and you get the sense she doesn't want to talk anymore.
Yeah, I'll make sure that there's water sitting by the table and stuff, and I'll just walk out and just let her have some time on her own now that I know that she's relatively conscious and not gonna like crash out.
Okay. Oscar's yet to come out of his we'll call it the engine room. And in the bowels of the ship, McCath almost seemingly prefers to stay underneath. It might have been all that time that she had spent in Ugachaka in the icy below, but she seems content to just be in a room reading over scrolls and books, looking at some of the items. Is there anything you guys want to accomplish on the second day?
I guess after 24 hours of just kind of soaking in, processing the deaths of the captain, um, I kind of basically I brought refreshments to the crew, and just to make sure that everybody stay relatively in a good uppity up mindset, and then not being down all the time, and then passed out a few drinks, not like alcoholic, but like teas to ease, like to put some ease on people's mind and just relax. And then I will bring, I think I will bring a cup for Usk, and then try to make some conversation, because I remember from the last time that there's some item that I would like him to share with me.
So you go
So
throughout the ship distributing
mhm.
teas. McCath seems pleasant. She seems pleased. She hasn't really had a lot of warm teas. There wasn't a lot of a little bit of delighted, I would say, McCath. Um, although she somewhat had been okay with her captivity, uh, this kind of reminds her of a little bit more humanity, and she thanks you greatly. You walk down into the deepest bowels of the ship towards the engine room. There's a door on the south end of the ship It seems locked. You know that Usk is behind it.
Mm-hmm. So basically, knock on the door. Um, Mr. Mr. Osk.
Just kind of hear grunts as the door comes and unlocked. You hear like it's more like a sliding one, like, hey, and he opens the door up to you. And he goes and he sits down on some shelving. There's this same kind of glimmering rocks that had like oil coated. I don't know. They shimmer like oil. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
At a
I get
certain
it.
angle. Yeah. And they're
And I can
strewn about.
smell like the burning the burnt smell of the boom boom rock and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
What do you need,
Um.
Phelan?
So I was just passing around some refreshments to the crew, and then the my companions told me that you were still in the engine room and taking care after the ship. So here's some tips. Hopefully can put your mind at ease, and some fresh wet towels for you to freshen up a little bit. Because obviously you've been handling with a lot of with the engines, and certainly it's definitely not the most welcome environment, you know. So with the damp on the heat and everything. So here we go.
I appreciate it,
And
Phelan.
also I like to say,
Here we go.
all right, then I that take away the towel and everything. So
No. Here we go as in what you're really here for.
oh, um, no, but first of all, I'd like to say it wasn't. I was hoping that I can talk with you and the first mate, both at the same time, but it's just something that I have to share after what happened a day ago. It wasn't
When we lost our
easy,
captain?
yes, and even before that. I
What do you mean
mean,
before that?
before when we arrived at the iceberg, we also, I mean, this ship also lost another crewmate. I just want to say that it is not the same when, because me and my companions, it is easier for us to handle with our own life and death. But when we got people involved, especially honest people like you and your captains and your crewmate, um, please do understand it's always the hardest things for us to see that things didn't go as we planned and we couldn't do more to save the life that was lost. I just want to make sure that you and the rest of the crew of this ship knows. And we are truly and deeply appreciate the sacrifice that you guys have made for us.
Understand
It's
this,
just that.
Phelan. That
Mhm.
sacrifice wasn't supposed to be made. We were given a job. And maybe it wasn't stressed enough to the captain just how deadly it would be. We flew your asses up here to the north. We lost two of our crew and one great Minotaur.
I
Now,
understand.
the whatever whatever financial arrangements that had been made isn't worth what we lost. And we came up here, and it sounds like we came up here for nothing because that horn that you were looking for is gone. And I don't know if you guys got the answers you need. So it seems to me we came up here and lost 2 lives for nothing except for trophies for you all adventurers that risked our ship and our livelihood. So I appreciate your concern and your breath of empathy for us. But it means shit all right now to me. Again, I do appreciate you coming to talk to me.
The thing is, we would have been happy for staying within the Fenland if the dragon hadn't attacked us and the rest of the Sword Coast.
Have you seen the Sword Coast? It's being attacked. How many dragons have you run into? Hell, we came and found a dragon. Everybody,
As a matter of fact, we came across 3 so far, and I believe the one we fought just in there, that was the 4th.
We were like
There's
6.
something that there's something going on right now in the Sword Coast and the rest of the entire area. It doesn't sit right. I mean, as a half elf, well, not as an elf with life experience, I've lived through 85 years of my life. Okay, I've never ever seen such frequency and such unrest among the dragons. Never in the 85 years I've walked on this earth. So I do feel the pain that you've lost. We've lost people too at Vanillin. This is why we had to came out, left our town, and left our luxuries and search for the dragon, because if the dragons and the cult are not put to rest, we are afraid something bad, something worse is gonna happen. And by that time, if nobody do nothing, what the world could lose won't be just your captain, nor the town folks at the Fenderland. And it's because of this, whatever little trace of proof, of a hint, of connections we can find to the source of all of this, me and my team, we had to risk everything. And I'm sorry, I'm truly sorry that you and your crew got involved when we got assigned with you at the town. We also didn't know that this journey is gonna be this tough. So, and now you had a taste. Now you've seen a little bit of what that we have been facing, and what we're about to face down the road. I want to talk to you about something, because I've heard from the first mate and from my companions that you have in the possession of something magical, of musical instruments. And as a bard, for the sake of my team and for the sake of this mission, I would like to have the chance to at least talk about it with you and see if I can have your permission to acquire that instrument. So in on the future journey and adventures, my team, I can perform for my team and then ward them from all kinds of bad things and whatever risk or dangers that might take place down the road.
I'll tell you this, Valen. That's not how it works. So my answer's no. I'm gonna get that right off the bat. And maybe you have a misconception on how it works, but as I demonstrated in the battle, it has much more use for me and my crew on the Thom Petty than it could have with you adventurers who spend time walking, riding horses, using portals or whatever you might be doing. No, this is going to stay with me. And on that note, you have to understand that there was an agreement that was made that when we decided to stay longer on that iceberg, that godforsaken iceberg, so that you guys had a chance to slay a dragon, to fight those armies, and mostly just cut up a dead dragon and keep its treasure for yourselves. There was an agreement that we stick behind and we would get some of that treasure, that we would be paid.
Yes, and I still, and me and my companions, I
And I'm telling you
believe,
now that this is part
and
of
you
that
feel like
payment.
it's not.
This here has the potential to keep our ship afloat. If the world is going to hell, like you say, then we need it more than ever. We need it more than you. Our livelihood is this boat, is Thom Petty. And if this lair can keep it afloat, when all things come and attack, when it looks to the grimace, and it can keep us safe, there's not a chance in hell I'm going to give it up. And you shouldn't even be asking me, because you guys made the agreement that you would let us have some of that treasure. And we're not asking for gold. We're not picking for gems. We're not asking for those weapons. We're asking for a thing that will keep us safe. We've already lost 2 lives. Now we're not land folk. We don't go adventuring. This ship being up in the air, that's our livelihood. This thing kept us afloat when we fought a white dragon. I'm not giving it up. I'm not losing any more of my crew. Are you saying that your needs outweigh our lives?
And was that statement coming from us? Valen suddenly got silenced because all of a sudden he feel like he cannot make that comparison because who is he to say that the lives on this boat worth more than the people on the ground, knowing that after all these days of traveling, all this time that he spent with the crew, that this might be the first time where he finally understand why is it the people on the airship call themselves different than those of the shipmates that sails through the ocean. Why is it that these people believe they are different from the rest of the shipmates and the sailors that sails across the sea? And so okay, I'm gonna break the character. Let me play the let me ask DM this question. Can I roll with a persuasion and see if there's even a chance to get the liar?
That would
Yeah,
be
you
an
can try.
insight check. I was saying like
He
I
wants to roll
think-
persuasion to see that his argument worked.
Okay, I was saying like I guess that would be like if you want to do it now, but I think like he was saying, I guess based on
Yeah,
Terry's
go ahead. You
question,
can raid
it's definitely-
persuasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You
So
you try
no,
to gauge. You try to.
uh-huh.
Well, I'm gonna explain to you what happened.
Okay.
'Cause that's how this works.
All right. Oh yes, sir.
You sit there in quiet contemplation, looking across from you, this engine room. You know, It's hot in here. And the beads of sweat are dripping down your brow. And you look across at Usk, and his eyes are locked on yours. He hasn't batted his eyes. He is dead set in his ways that he will not give up this instrument.
So even with the 17, that's not gonna convince us to giving the instrument. Huh?
You got owned
No.
in that debate. Yeah, the 17's not gonna do it.
Oh. Okay, I try. I guess as a player, I try, but it's definitely one of a good conversation to have with the mate.
Yeah, no, it's
Well,
excellent. I appreciate
yeah,
it.
Yo,
then
bravo on that, guys. Like, damn.
and so after a few minutes of thought to himself, Valen turned to us and saying that I guess you would be correct. I cannot ask you to sacrifice what you and your crew have gained through blood and life and sacrifice. And it is not my place to tell you to understand or appreciate our mission and the importance of our missions or what we are embarked on to do. So I hope whatever is remain of our journey together and whatever could be down the road when if should we ever had the chance to meet again, um please don't think less of us. At least try to understand us, because please believe me when I said, even though we are a king running with a rogue, a dragonborn, and myself and all the other unlikely character, I do believe we are in for the good, and it's not just good for the Fenelon, for the town of Fenelon. It's not just good for the good of our own. It's definitely, we believe it deeply, is good. It's for the good of the Sword Coast, and I hope one day when everything is revealed, that you and your crew could come to see that point and also could finally appreciate and and get a sense of relief about the sacrifice that your captain and your crew made in helping us. And with that, Balin basically just turn around and leave everything with us and then come back on the deck.
As you step through the door and start to head up the stairs, you hear a shout from the engine room. Valen,
And I stop.
your steaks, they're not that bad. And then he shuts the door to the engine room.
Oh my god, I appreciate that greatly. Thank you. Yeah, and basically, as Valen walked onto the deck, like he also get a little grim on his face, and then just return to his post back in the kitchen.
Okay. Is there anything else that someone wants to do today?
Yeah, I want to have a team chat.
Want me to
Okay.
turn off my headset?
No.
No, let it happen in the story. Let it happen in the story.
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know if you wanted to do.
No, it's not supposed to be a secret or like super secret. It's just like a.
It's just a time where the group gets together to talk.
Gotcha.
Yep. Let's go.
I didn't know you guys all had a announced team chat instead of just talking.
No, so
I don't know.
when we all gather, when we get a chance to gather together, and it's just like at least the four, like the group of us.
He didn't want to count how many people.
I wanted to. Well, I didn't know if, Darth was gonna come out and add his 2 cents. And I'm going to speak up and say, look, we're we're very lucky to have them take us to Luskin and hopefully to Waterdeep after that. I mean, I don't know what the plan is for this crew. I think they're little. Um, they're obviously dealing with loss, um, and a little and struggling with that right now. Um, I think we just need to continue to do what we can to make things easier for them, look out for them, and do what we can. Um, Metcalf is probably going to, I assume, stay in Luskin. I don't think she's going to come with us all the way to Waterdeep. But let's. I mean, this crew. If we leave, they're gonna have to hire new people. Like they're gonna be hurting once we leave and stuff like that. Um, and they're gonna need some help. How do you guys feel? I don't know if we obviously need to wait, but how do you guys feel about trying to offer them an extended job for whatever the next part of this is, if they're willing? We know our roles on the ship. We know the ship can take us to probably where we need to go next, whether it's on sea or on land. If we're in Luskin and Waterdeep, we can, we have gold that we can put into the ship to repair it, upgrade it, whatever we need to do. And like I just want to make sure that we give the crew the opportunity to, I don't know, work their way off. I don't know, maybe they're invested in see if they're invested in helping us more now, or whatever, because I don't know, none of this has ever goes as planned. We still have a job to do, and if we can accomplish our job, like stop what these cultists and dragons are doing, then the captain's sacrifice won't be in vain, and the ultimately this crew, who it was his number one concern, will be um, safe, right? And they'll be able to continue on as safe as they can be. So if we can try to, I mean, the faster we do that, the better for them. If they can help us with that, maybe that'll be best for us. But I'm not sure if they want to do that. What do you guys think?
I mean,
I
personally, I don't. Well, okay. If I'm allowed to be selfish for a moment, yes, I would. I agree with this plan because we know what the ship can do, and we know it's in and out, and we have a capable crew that can run the ship very well. At least for now, and ble blessed to be Captain Souls, but I think the first mate that she can do a very good job. Should we offer her the captain position of the ship? And I don't think the crew would disagree that she has earned her spot. But at the same time, after going through what we just put them through, I would say we have to be very careful if we want to acquire their service and then ask for their help again. Because I don't think, judging from what I've already conversed with Usk and the rest of the crews on the ship, their consensus about the entire ordeal they had with us that to them it wasn't worth it. It wasn't their place to have lost so many souls throughout the mission, and it's certainly not worth the money and the treasures that we're paying them with. That's the consensus I got from talking to them. But like I said, if I'm allowed to be selfish, I'm hoping that at least the first mate can understand our mission and to see through the hardship that we are going to see and gonna come across from now on too, that she would be willing to provide assistance with us. But I'm just setting your expectation for the entire team. Yeah, like be ready. If they reject the plan outright, then just leave it there, because
well, I mean, there's an alternative that's equally as fair. In, you know, we have a significant pull in Phandalin, even if they don't want to continue with us here and doing our mission. You know, Phandalin and Wave Echo is growing. Obviously, we've had issues taking the what was it, Long Road, Viva? What was it called?
Yeah, that's the one we took down to Water's Deep.
Yeah, so taking the long road all the way for main travel to export our goods from Wave Echo for Phandalin has been, has its own issues. If they want to just go back to civilian life, essentially, we could set up a new Phandalin airship dock, and they can be exclusively the import export ship for Wave Echo, and that'll boost Phandalin's opportunities, and it will boost their exclusivity and import out exporting. I mean, that would be really good for them from that standpoint.
I thought they already had a deal with one of the King's Alliance.
Yeah, but that deal was over by helping us with that, and apparently deal got them caught up with this. I'm just giving them, and it was with the previous captain. I'm just saying, I'm not sure what they need, and if they want to take something that's a little bit lighter, at least we know we have a line of work that they could do that's like less shepherding people like us at a king's whim. If they wanted to do that, it'll be up for them. It'll be up for them to take that choice. It's the best we have to offer. Help everyone involved. Keep Phandalin.
I've said my piece. Well, whatever you guys want to do, I guess.
Valen, I agree with you. I think we offer, but we don't push beyond that. We respect what they decide.
Okay, so that's the plan. All right.
Is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
Do we want to have? When do we want to have that discussion? Do you want to have it tomorrow night?
Probably when we get to our next location.
You want to have it at the next location?
No.
Once everything is settled, I think before we're gonna depart.
The discussion with the crew.
Yeah.
Oh, I would give a couple days of healing before we go in all of that.
That's why I'm saying we wait till we get to Luskin.
Yeah.
And we talk with them there.
Yeah, let's wait until we get to Luskin then.
All right.
At least.
Instead of just dropping these things on them while they're still trying to mourn the day after, or trying to heal as Lechamp is doing.
Well, yeah, I thought Lechamp was doing better, but that's fine.
Doing better does not mean she's out and about.
over the next several days, 2 days, you guys start to see the coastline appear. Continuing to move further south again. You guys begin to descend over the next several hours towards the town. Sitting next to the waters. The first thing is, okay, there's no RP that you guys need to do in the meantime, right? We're gonna land in Luskin.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah, anything else
Okay.
that I need to do, I can wait with.
Immediately your guys' eyes are drawn to the center of town. Amongst the city skyline rises sorry, Jesus. A
Dude,
tower
that's fucking sick.
built
That'd be
built
my-
like a tree that rises hundreds of feet up into the air. The branches arch over the castle that it's connected to. You're in awe. In most parts, all through your journey, you've never seen anything quite like this. As you guys begin to coast down into the docks with a couple other airships and mostly other ships that sail by sea, that that beautiful tower tree is seen from miles, just hangs over the city of Luskin. McCath is standing perched on the deck looking at it. This eyeless woman who had been away for so long, just it seems as though she feels something radiating off of it, and like a sunflower that follows the sun, she just kind of like her face follows it, this gleeful smile on her face. She seems to know where it's at all times. You guys dock and make your way into Luskin. McCath seemingly leading the way. You're perplexed. She's blind, had never been here blind, but she seems to know her way. And she just keeps yelling to you, keep up, keep up. We need
Can
to
I
get these.
Really quick, as we were walking off of the ship, I would like to at least mention to LeChamp to let her know that after some time, I'd like to have a conversation with her and the crew, just so that they are at least aware of our intentions to talk and not just leave them here with no.
For the first
information.
time, or no, not for the first time, but LeChamp is out on the decking of the ship. She's hobbled a little bit, still limping. She's got these wraps around her chest and her torso. No, for sure. No, we'll be here. Just do what you gotta do. We'll see you soon.
Let us know if you need anything, and I'll
Well,
follow the rest of the group.
supplies. You know, the basics.
Oh yeah, we
And I
used
would
up how much on repairing the ship?
I wouldn't mind some rum if you could.
40.
I'll procure you some.
Thank you.
I'll follow McCath in the group.
So we used
Okay.
82 of our material rebuilding the ship.
Okay.
Looking at the damage taken from our dragon encounter.
Mhm.
And I think we had 300 in storage.
I
So I
thought
guess
so.
we'll, yeah. So I think we'll just at least restock on the 82 or whatever.
Okay. So just write that into your shopping notes.
Yeah, I'm
As
putting it
you
down now.
guys are let in, Luskin. Luskin is a port town, a lot like others, but you see a lot of people who are just who are robed. These robes kind of cover their feet, cover their hands as they shuffle around. You almost get a sense that this is like it has a feel of like academia that whereas you guys might be a little thrown off by people in robes with their faces covered and stuff, this feels more like a place of learning as opposed to the dragon cultists that you had seen before you, like before you had gotten here. The dock behind you is beautiful as it's just kind of laid out with all these ships and their sails um, set against like the backdrop of this beautiful ocean. It seems as though McCath wants to lead you further towards the center, towards the host tower.
What
That big
is this tree? So
McCath
pretty.
says that's host tower. Isn't it magnificent?
It certainly is.
That is the center of the arcane brotherhood. It is magnificent. I've missed it. Even with my inability to see, I can see it radiating. Would you like to know more, Valen?
Who started this town and who planted it and what? Because I don't know. I sense some sort of
That's a yes. We would like to
something
know more.
something magical from the tree.
No, it is the center of all things that we've been studying. The history of this is older than you can imagine. 1237 DR. You know,
Damn.
erected by the Netherese Arcanus Melthar in 354 DR to protect the Ilsk from Ferium attack. It may have cost them their life, but 20 years later, the Arcanist named Marin was involved in creating a magical siphoning system that took seawater from the Sea of Swords and transported it via roots grown from the tower and a begrudging underground sediment where elemental magic is fueled by the water kept the primordial Majera under control. It is steeped in magic. It is. There's still so much to learn about it.
Is
But
it a tree or is it tower or is it both?
yes, both. Is magic science or magic?
That's a good point. Is it more Judaic in nature or is it arcane in nature?
We're the Arcane Brotherhood. I need you to keep up.
Damn. Wow.
You're used to those kind of comments because she's been very direct, but
Dark King, you pretty much just got
she's
schooled.
playful with you, in this manner. Now we became the rulers of the city sometime around 1376 after we defeated the Lich. But there's too much. We need to keep going.
Is there? Does the Arcane Brotherhood have their own? Um, you're gonna hate me. Did they have their own shops and resources available to them, um, or is there like a bazaar or marketplace along the way?
No, although there certainly are supplies within the tower for my fellow brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking for something, then I would head to the docks, and this is a port, and in every port there's. But you won't find a plethora of magical items like you might in somewhere like Waters Deep, where they're looking to hawk goods. No, those things are studied here. They're held in a higher esteem than sold to drunkards and liars. So you will find supplies. You'll find enough to refill, but I don't think you should have expectation to
If
find the next great magical thing that will get you on your journey, because that is locked up,
if I could
heavily researched.
if I can clarify my question into two parts. Either on if whichever way is easiest, either on our way or before we go, we do need to resupply the resources that we use on the ship, which again sounds more docks than in the um, tower and with the rest of the Arcane Brotherhood. Uh, so we'll be able to grab those, and then probably like the potions and stuff that we use probably would also be there as well. You imagine?
Oh, healing potions and the such. They're also in the docks. And
Okay. And then by all means,
yes.
the rest of the stuff for research and stuff, I would, you know, I, I have, you know, as we've been learning, as I've been learning, and you've been patient with me
Oh,
on the
the
last few
patience.
days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do have many questions and uh, would would appreciate a chance to see inside what I
Right.
can and see what
Tell you
resources you have there. So
tell you what. Give me a list of the supplies that you want. Healing potions, herbals, the likes. I, my understanding is you also want something for your ship. Give me a supply of that. I will send an apprentice to go pick this up and send it to the dock. Send it to Tom Petty. I my desire is to get straight to Host Tower.
Would you
Is
want us
this?
to just put that into the chat then?
yeah, I'm putting that in there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. After years away, she's hardly interested in your shopping list,
Same.
but it's
It's
relatively
important. I need
right. It is important, but it's relatively basic. She's promising you it will be taken care of by uh by the new kids in the Arcane Brotherhood. Val, I need you to roll perception. As you guys continue into the center of town, the tower grows and grows and grows. You're now kind of underneath the
Can't
you're
roll above a
underneath
10.
the canopy of the tree. When Val, you start to get this unease feeling in your body.
I love these, man.
In your past, it's been some time, but in your past, you've experienced it. You thought you felt this somewhere in Waters Deep. You thought you felt this somewhere near Baldur's Gate. But now, more than ever, you do know that somewhere underneath this tree, there's a portal.
Okay.
You guys continue on. And as you approach this magnificent structure, it's not guarded. It's not surrounded by guards like you had expected to see in Waters Deep or in Baldur's Gate. But there's lawns and there's people reading books all around in these, you know, in these same, seems like the clothing of the Arcane Brotherhood. This is a place of learning. As you enter underneath this great tower, these magnificent halls, you see statues and carvings showing ancient fae, gods. You see giants. You see dragons. You see all manner carved into the stones. And she leads you forward even further until she reaches a great hall. She asks you to wait here. Seems like a kind of like a library. This giant library with shelves that travel up 10, 15 feet, full of books, full of tomes and scrolls. You guys sit there at a table waiting for her return.
Okay, completely out of game. This is like Hogwarts, and I'm living my best life.
I'm still mesmerized by the tree. Seriously, that structure is amazing to look at.
As we were walking in through everything, was I able to like pay attention enough to get a lay of the land, roughly, and kind of see what was around, or is it mostly like academic buildings and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was mostly academic. Like I don't know. Let me get a history check from you.
Oh, look.
Okay, so through your travels, you recognize one thing. You recognize like the privilege of academia where there doesn't seem like the rest of the world stops and all this is study, learning, the sharing of ideas and beliefs.
Yeah.
It's kind of frozen in time where you were just out there in the cold battling dragons. You come here into this autumn like heat and it's almost like you're it's juxtaposed to what the reality is in the rest of the world.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Is there anything you guys would like to do while you wait?
Are we even allowed to venture around the campus, or we're kind of restricted?
Are we all waiting outside in the courtyard, or were we?
Oh, you guys were sitting at a table in the library that is
Yeah, no.
kind of attached. So so this building is So the base of this kind of is. Let's see if I can draw this. Oh,
You can just draw it
I
on
don't.
the
I
screen.
If
don't.
we're within the library, then I would like to do some
That's
research
terrible. See,
when
this one
we're
I'll draw.
Yeah.
Don't
if-
worry, we can't see any of it.
Yeah. You
Cool.
can. Um.
It's okay. So you guys ever see a compass? North, south,
Yeah,
east, west. But then they also have the other four corners, which is northeast, south.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
It's
compass rose.
oh, yes, the compass rose. The base of this is similar to the compass rose. You get that? There's the north, south, east, west are longer
mhm,
than the diagonals. It's open. A lot of it seems to kind of be open to. It's not all like walls. It's a little bit open. There is some freedom. You can wander in and out of buildings, but the extent of this campus is this compass rose. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yep.
mhm.
All right. So what's up?
Um. If we're in a library, is there a librarian?
Of course, it's a library.
Can I go speak to the librarian? Or were we
Um,
explicitly told to don't leave this table?
you were not explicitly told. So you kind of start wandering.
I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah, if it's a huge
For-
library, I'm not gonna try to
It's
get
pretty-
lost. But I'm gonna try to.
It's
find
pretty
a
big,
library.
but there's avenues. This is
I feel like I'm
it's
confident. I
not-
can find my way
yeah.
from a library. We've
Yeah,
found
this
our
is
way
not
through
a-
a dungeon.
this is-
I'm never gonna get lost in a library. What was I
Right.
worried about? Get out of here. Yeah. What if
So you managed without having to worry
I'm
too
gonna
hard. You
die.
managed. And then I need you to roll for perception. No. So you find like the thoroughways, the major walkways, and it leads you to a desk. And behind there, you just see a cloaked figure sitting behind a desk.
Hello? Hi?
Shh.
Excuse me?
How may I help you?
Um, am I allowed to check out or borrow any of
No.
these books? No.
No. I can tell you right now with all authority, you are not to check out or borrow any of these books. You may read them. You may peruse, but you will not be checking out or taking any of the books here.
Do you have like a policy on take it like take
I have
book,
a
leave
policy.
Okay. Do you have any books on um um some like fiends, fae, celestials?
She rolls her eyes. Yes, of course, we have books on fiends, fays, and the likes. Can you be more specific, please?
I'm looking for particularly entities and types of fays, fiends, and celestials. Um, Maybe anything with specific names of creatures and or names of specific like a specific name like a personal name of a fiend or fae or celestial, like naming
Oh
one.
my word. I don't know how you managed to be less specific
Well,
than you
that's
started.
like I'm just trying to just want to open a book and
You are
peruse and read some.
looking for a book of names on fiends, fays, and the likes.
Well, I figured I'll just start with like a book of what types there are, and then maybe read through Where's the section on them? And I'll just kind of just start there. How's
Well,
that?
on the 4th floor, there is a section on fiends.
Okay.
On the 5th floor, there's the sections on Fae.
4th floor. Fiends, 4th, 5th. Okay. Okay. Got it. How many floors are there here just for kicks and giggles?
Open to you, there are 3. Which brings us
And do
to the
they
next
start
problem.
with the 4th?
No, they don't.
Dang
You're
it.
catching on.
Ah. um.
Maybe. If you were a
How
little bit
could I
more
get?
specific, I can bring something to you.
Oh, okay. Um. Let's. Can we start with a book on types of fey creatures?
Okay. Types of. So, Fae creatures
In the
for the
Feywild.
slow and dullard. I will bring that to you shortly.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do I need to help you get to your seat?
It's right. Yes. Oh.
Back that way.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. She points you in the right direction and then whispers to one of her companions in another robe as they go off. You barely see her eyes as she peers underneath her cloak at you. You walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
I go to
I
the
think
table
with
and I tell everybody there's a librarian over there. I'm gonna tee you up, Terry. Sorry. Uh,
okay.
I go back to the table and I tell everybody, so there's a librarian. We have to be very quiet. She's bringing me a book. I'm not sure if that's what we're supposed to be doing right now, but um, if you go over there and ask really nicely, maybe she'll do it. I mean, obviously, I was a charmer, so it was not a big deal for me. She obviously saw my great intellect. But for everyone else, like, I mean, just try your best. Um, but yeah, just if you want to give it a shot, she's right down. Crap, where was I? I think it was over there, and I point
Mm-hmm.
to where I came from, and if anyone wants to go over there and talk to her. And Viva got up and walked away. I was trying to flavor text it a little bit. Sorry, Terry.
No problem.
So did she go and get the
She just pieced out. She's like, stay at this table.
no Metcalf?
Yeah.
Yeah, did she go get the apprentice or whatever she said was gonna help us get our supplies?
No, she just said,
Give her a
here's a table.
list, and she'll give it,
Bye.
and we'll give it to them. So we're just
Hmm.
making.
It's hard to believe that this is just some podunk little city if there's this great library tower standing here.
I
All
know.
right. What are we doing?
I think I'm just gonna enjoy the moment and just enjoy the atmosphere and how because judging from the appearance of the entire structure, I would bet probably the library itself is beautifully crafted too in terms of its architecture and
If you
the
want to
layout.
wander the library, that is perfectly fine.
Just don't touch the book and everything. I got it. Okay, then I'll just take a walk, like take a stroll like within the library without making too much noises.
Um. All right. DW, be more specific. Anybody else doing anything?
I'm waiting for McCath to get back.
Is there maps anywhere?
You can ask the librarian.
I don't have a specific
Here's
book in mind.
No?
no. Yeah, I'll go ask the librarian.
No, I want to know the specific thing. I don't know what information I can feed you if you don't tell me what exactly you're looking for.
Oh,
Okay, so what'd you decide, Astrid?
I'm gonna find the librarian
Mm-hmm.
if she's around, and just ask if they have an accessible section of maps.
So you approached, kind of had followed the path in which DW had left, and then it's not long before you see the main fairway between like this nice, beautiful flooring that kind of leads you to this oak desk that's in the middle, and behind it is a figure in this familiar cloak. Her head currently bowed to you, unnoticing you.
I will speak softly. Hello? Good morning.
Yes, child.
Do you happen to have a section on maps that's accessible for the public?
Mm-hmm. If you just follow, and she points down a different hallway. If you follow that, you'll get to our cartography room. There are many maps available to you, although if you're looking for anything more specific that you cannot find on there, you will probably need one of the Brotherhood to vouch for you to gain access to anything more specific.
Understood. For now, I just need to satiate some curiosity. If I need anything else, I'll make sure to find you. Thank you.
No, curiosity is one of the hallmarks. Have you ever considered academia?
No, I have not. I don't think we would fit well.
Well, curious minds would certainly benefit from our tutelage. But hopefully the answers that you desire are down that way.
Many thanks. And I'll head down to where she pointed. I guess I should probably tell somebody where I'm going, so I'll make sure that they knew that yeah. So I'm not just wandering off. I'll let them know where I'm going.
Okay. In the meantime that you're gone,
Yep.
McCath comes back. She comes with another brother of the arcane. This one seems to be like this one you get the sense that this was a drow, although he continues to have the hood over his head and you can't quite see his features, but his skin kind of like glows. I wouldn't say glows, but shimmers in the dark shadows of his hood. Yes. Okay. No, this is quite interesting, and we should send it upstairs for more research. As he looks over the many books and items that you guys helped recover. And you helped save my sister.
That is correct.
The Brotherhood is in quite a debt to you all.
Well,
It is. is a great resource that we gained today with you bringing back my sister.
It was our pleasure, and she was very helpful in our escape and our trip back here. So we are also grateful to her.
You can count the Arcane Brotherhood as indebted to you. He calls over some apprentices, and they come over and they start gathering up the supplies that you poured from your bags of holding.
Mm-hmm.
They lay it out on the table and they start organizing it, and then kind of like one by one they take stacks of these books and these items and scrolls and stuff.
So to be clear, DM, these are nondescript stacks of scrolls, books, and items at this point, and it does not include the things that we've distributed to the team. Okay, just making sure.
No, yeah,
totally cool.
No, these are. This is the stuff that.
These are the things we procured and wrested from the scriptorum, and we are giving back to the Brotherhood.
Exactly.
Cool. I'll introduce myself as to this drow and say, I do not believe we've been introduced. My name is Valimar.
Valimar. So, it's not a common name. It's from the south. Yes, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No. I am familiar with much of that area. Glad to meet you, Valimar. Do you have a last name?
Am I at the table?
That is very rude.
Wow, that is a baiting question if I ever heard one.
Am I at the table?
Are you at the table?
Well, yeah, I would have walked back by now. So are you assuming this is the conversation at the table? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Why does one need to know his last name?
Oh, no. I'm a bit of a historian, so when I hear names uncommon to this age, I'm merely curious.
No offense,
Well,
Val, but
No offense to who?
we just got here and we're just meeting.
What I'm going to say next, you need to listen closely to. No offense is always followed by an offense.
Sure.
Pick your words wisely.
So confused. I think he said no offense and then said Val.
No, I said Val and I was cutting you off and that was addressing him.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's common practice that we don't always just greet everybody for our safety and theirs.
Right. So I assume your family. I'll leave it at that. Keep your secrets. I merely was curious about
Can
the
I
name
insight
Val.
check him to see if he if I feel like he's because
yeah, you can insight
my
check.
character would be concerned
I understand,
is he fishing for someone my brother or me?
You can insight check.
We both have a negative background of where we came from. Having someone just ask who's your lineage is kind of scary for both of us. It should be.
You're unrightly unsettled with the fact that he's asking. You're the type of person who likes to play his cards close to his hand, close to his chest. However that phrase goes.
Yeah.
You're not quite sure if he's untrustworthy or you just don't trust people.
That's fair. That's true.
Right.
So yeah.
So
no, I'm torn. I just I'm definitely torn. Like, I mean, I don't want to be this way, but like, I also
that's
like
fine.
have.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It was.
Show back up in society. Someone asks you, "Hey, what's your full and last name? Put your social security on this dotted line." I'm sure nothing will happen wrong to you right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Are we done here?
I mean, sorry. No, I mean, is he addressing particularly me or the group?
He's looking at you.
We were very interested in seeing what this place does have to offer and stuff like that.
What it has to offer is knowledge and nothing more. But knowledge is give and take. You need to understand that. We do not build a magnificent structure like this. We do not build a wealth of knowledge like this if all we did was take and not give.
Sure. But you also have a secrets area on your library. And I'm sure you have a secret area of your knowledge that is protected for the right reasons. Is it not? Would you not trust that we might not have the same reasons for us keeping certain knowledge close to ourselves?
I want to stress again, I'm no longer pushing you for your secrets. The wealth of knowledge that is within the Hosttower.
We have plenty of knowledge to share. It might not be our last names.
No. I don't think you have anything to share with me. And he grabs a set of books and he kind of like he heads out the same way the apprentice is gone. You look over to McCath and she's just shaking her head like, oh my God.
I'm also shaking my head a bit.
It is.
The last time we were in a major city and they found out who we were, we got freaking almost murdered.
Then say that. What you did was worse.
Why? I said we're protecting ourselves and others. Why would I?
Again. All right. Anyways. This is a place of knowledge. These are students and teachers and professors and masters of lore and arcana. They do not care about petty squabbles or your life debts or your threats and whatever else. This is
Metcalf, I understand that.
Over yourself.
I want to, trust me, all I want to do is be over myself. But the last time I got over myself and I did something stupid, it almost killed everybody. So all I'm afraid of, Metcalf, listen, all I want to do is not be afraid. Trust me. All I want to do is not be afraid. And what I'm hoping to do is to learn enough so that I'm not. But right now, I'm not there. I'm terrified. I'm honestly, the most honest thing I can tell you is that I'm scared. Okay?
Fine. I will take that into consideration, but hear me now. I've known you for several weeks now, and you are wholly uninteresting. Can we please get on with our business?
Yes, absolutely. I would love to get
Okay.
on with our business. I
I
just
would
don't.
love
I
to
don't
too.
mean to offend.
That's good. No, you're not offending me. I enjoy all of this.
Wasn't trying to.
No, you're good. And I'm ready to go. Is there anything else?
I requested a book. I was hoping it would show up really quickly so I could peruse it really.
Well, I hope it gets here soon. And then she takes a stack of books and then she wanders off.
Can I follow McCath?
You can. So as she walks through like this winding library, there she gets to this wall. There's these flames, blue tint to the flame, archway made of stone. Behind it, you see just this curved walkway, and as soon as she enters, the stone wall just completely shuts. That doorway is gone. You do hear a little bit of like footwork through the stone, and then you notice up above you, McCath carrying those same books with the apprentices up on this balcony above you as they continue to climb higher into this tower.
I'll take the hint that I'm not to follow and return to the group.
When he gets back, I'll say, "I'm sorry, Val. I didn't mean to ruin the moment. I'm just. I don't want what happened before to happen again. I'm trying, but it just took me by surprise that someone would pry into either of our like namesakes."
Yeah, well, I understand the trepidation, but I am attempting to find information and build relationships so that I can gather this information where I can. So to do so, one needs to be forthcoming with some information.
Sure,
But
I agree.
For now, we just need to figure out what we're going to do next because currently we are sitting in a library.
Well, Metcalf said that they might have information on the Dragonhorn here. So do you want to go see if maybe there's a book you can request for?
So let me get this straight. You attempted to ask for information on Fae and were required for somebody to go get it for...
I forgot that we could have done that.
Well, there's that, but you also... It would have also... Point being is that if just general information on Fae beings is guarded information that requires some sort of access, I'm assuming that information on the Dragonhorn will require somebody else to help gain us this access. And currently the two people that we know of just left.
Sure. We're still on a mission to save everybody, so I feel like that should still get us good graces. And, you know, I'm hoping they don't hold serious grudges over a miscommunication at the very beginning. Which I did say last time we gave away our personal namesakes, it resulted on everyone almost getting killed. So
you're currently reading through books or no?
I'm waiting for my book to get here.
Yes.
And everyone else is sitting here waiting for books, and they took the books away. So we don't know what we're doing, other than like.
No, right. Okay, so as you all sit around this table, you are approached by another cloaked figure, and you are given a book to read through. This book is what you sent. This book we have in our messaging. Right? I'm not going to go into that right now in detail.
Okay.
Val is waiting currently just for everybody to come back down.
Yeah, we needed to talk to McCath
Right.
and try and get information.
And then let's just say, okay, so Valen is still kind of like wandering around. Now we come across, so we're just gonna focus on Astrid, who's been looking at maps.
Yeah. I have indeed.
What can you speak specifically to a book that you're a map that you're looking towards?
Well, I'm looking for any maps that give kind of a lay of the land that we think we're headed towards. I think McCath said, refresh my memory, McCath said that the Dragonhorn was moving east. Is that what we heard? Or am I
that. No, we heard that,
misremembering?
but we don't know where east, and like pretty much the world was east from where we were.
Right.
So like, the two directions it could have been moving was east and south, and that would have been the two directions that were the least useful because we were the northwest point in the world. So
Okay.
Right. So in this map room that you find yourself, you do see maps of Faerun, which we're looking at now. It is not giving you a lot of that doesn't necessarily give you a lot of information.
Right.
Can I get an investigation check from you
Mm-hmm.
with advantage?
Okay.
Wow. You know what? Never mind. I'm never gonna help you again. No. You.
can you see why she's not supposed to be a librarian?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not cut out for academia in real life and in
You
game.
actually so what happens is you actually come across a lot of things that you find interesting. You're looking through these maps and you see things like the Gray Peaks Mountains, and you get the sense that they hold some kind of meaning. The Lurkwood, the Evermoors, the Wood of Sharp Teeth, the Sunset Mountains. All of these things seem to like kind of trigger in your mind, but don't necessarily, like, you cannot necessarily put it together what these things mean.
Okay.
But there's no direct answer. You certainly have a better idea of what this looks like, but unfortunately, anything else doesn't seem to help.
Okay.
Back at the table, McCath comes back. Hello. It seems as though this is where we'll be parting ways. I thank you all for helping me recover these. If there's anything else I can help you with, please let me repay my debt now.
McCath, I would have two things that I'd like to potentially inquire about. The first one being more of a more general and hopefully local, pointing towards somebody who might be able to help, an artisan potentially or an enchanter. I'd like to try and craft a container from one of the dragon parts that we obtained. I believe this seems very... this would require an enchanter.
I can take you. No, we are the students of the arcane, and there is a lab here on the grounds that will happily try to create something. You certainly brought quite a bit of goods.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the second thing is our mission isn't over. I'm glad that it intersected with a mission to help rescue you and return you here, but we must continue on to go in search of this Drakenhorn, and we are tasked with attempting to stave off calamity. And any information that you or the Brotherhood might be able to provide us in terms of either finding or any heading that we might be able to follow, since you said that the Drakenhorn was removed from the lair before we arrived, will be very helpful.
It's time you know more about the Drakenhorn, surely. It's an ancient device. It was used in the Great War. The war that seemingly brought the world together to face down that mighty beast. Originally, it was to terrorize and hunt them down, but things go awry, you know? And it seems as though it became a rallying call to the dragonkind. What was supposed to be a weapon of doom became a weapon of our own destruction. The Drakenhorn was first blown by the sky giants in the Great War. But once it was captured, it became a means to our end. Its use calls upon the dragons of the world. It's a rallying call. It sends terror and doom to the rest of us, but to the dragons, it's like a call to home. I was brought onto that iceberg to study it, but those damn cultists, they took it for their own means. I think we all can guess what that is.
Who was using it before the cultists got there?
Nobody. It was supposed to be sent into that wasteland to never be used again.
If the cultists got there and took it a week before we arrived, it was being blown. It was being sounded before that. So who was sending it off?
Maybe Arthur. Maybe he knew. I mean, it certainly requires more lung capacity than I have.
Right.
Do you have any information on where they might have taken it?
My one guess is it's gathering its forces somewhere. Certainly not up north, in that godforsaken lands, those frozen tundra. Nope, not up there. And it's not here. No, I can't help you pinpoint I'm sorry.
Thank you for your information, McCath.
Where did she say she thinks it? She said it's not up north.
No, it's not up north.
I do have a couple of other questions then. You mentioned there was a lich. What was the name of this lich?
Oh, no. I mentioned in the ancient history of this world that there was a lich that helped create this magnificent tower. No.
All right, well,
That name is
then
hardly worth speaking now.
very well. My last question. Can you give me more information about the portal that resides beneath the tower?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. You hide many secrets. What I can do.
will. Please continue, sorry.
No, what I can do is take you to the bowels, to the catacombs, and I will show you the dusty remains of a portal that is no longer of use to anyone.
I would be intrigued and greatly appreciate that.
But there is a trade-off, right?
As there is.
Knowledge is shared.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder about one particular companion of yours who seems uninterested in sharing his past. Are you willing?
I will share with what I can. Some unfortunately is beyond even my reach.
Is she looking at me, or is she like referring like?
Val,
Mm-hmm.
this is the halls of academia, and this is the epicenter of all knowledge in the world, as far as I see.
Yeah.
We must be truthful with one another.
I am letting you know I will share with what I know.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have all memories. There's a time in my life where I don't remember what happened.
Where did he get
As you can see, and like I clearly point out the arcane scar on my face. I have a very checkered past, I'm sure, as most of everyone here can tell, and even you without your sight who knows and can see things beyond just the visible. Unfortunately, there are parts of my past that I do not remember. But other than that, I am willing to share.
Come with me. And she leads you down these winding stairs that lead into the catacombs.
Is she only taking me, or is the rest of the party coming?
No, it's just you.
Oh, okay.
Hope you like this character.
Nah, fuck this character. I've got 4 more lined up.
Val, where did he get his name?
He who?
We don't need to play games. It's just us down here. And she continues to lead you down these winding stone steps.
I mean, I would assume from his parents. Or his title was earned.
You don't get a name like this from your parents or happenstance. I want to know more about him.
So, DM, is she asking about Liam? I'm confused by this conversation as a person.
I would like you to roll a perception check.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, I'm confused.
I am confusion.
You're
Everyone get ready
very
for battle.
very confused. You've had this conversation up above in which your brother refused to let you give out any more information.
Yeah, about my name. He never gave his name to the other guy. I'm confused by
I
this
understand that.
scenario.
You are confused.
If she's asking me about me, I can give that information.
She's not giving that information. She's not asking about you. She knows. She's certainly not asking about you. She's never said you.
Okay.
Your understanding is she's asking about your brother.
Okay. Now that I understand what is occurring, because it didn't make sense to me, but okay, yes. All right, I'll have to get back into character. Give me a second.
And she leads you into this room, and it's this wide open room with this stone flooring and these archways. There's plenty of archways, but in the middle of this room is one particular archway, and from it must have been standing there for eons because so it sits like this in the room. You can see both sides of it. To the tops of it, there's these like kind of like old spider webs and stuff that lead up into the ceiling. The overwhelming sense of what you know this to be kind of overwhelms you. It is a portal. You of all people know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen these in the wild. You've seen these throughout your many years. Before I ask you, before we go any further, I need to ask you again. Tell me where he gets his names.
From the same people who did this to me, pointing out to my scar. From the order. Because we don't have any other name for it.
Oh. It's not what I'm looking for. The order. We've known about them forever. The order is not. The order has no attachment to him. It's not even. No. Where does it get his name from?
That is all the information I have on this. He hasn't told me shit out of game. Like, I don't know anything about his backstory. So, like, I don't know anything other than the Order of Assassins.
None of that's true, because you know his actual. Anyways.
You know one more.
I'll
text it to you. I know what he's pitching for.
I'm so confused.
As you stand into this room, the kind of wind kind of blows around. There's a slight glow to the archway that stands in the middle of this room. McCath stands aghast. It's been centuries since there's been any activity to that.
Where does it lead?
We don't know. I need to know where he gets his name from. It's more important than you may think. Look at what's happening to this world around us. Look right in front of you and see this. Where does he get his name?
One he called Catred.
No. His name. Not
Okay, I got nothing then.
where
Sorry.
does Valen get his name?
Oh, you motherfucker! I have no idea. That Valen has been.
Then come with me. And she puts her hand out. Let's go inside.
I am going to insight check her just to be sure I trust her. I will
Jesus!
take her hand. Okay.
I did not see this coming.
You've been telling us all this shit about Alex's character, and then all of a sudden it's Terry you're asking about. How the fuck would I know any of that?
Wow! Get ready for the fucking
Literally, how would I
train
know
wreck.
any of that? I've been.
Ooh, baby.
God.
I've been holding in that screen for at least 5 minutes.
I don't. None of that made any sense to me, but okay, this is awesome. I'm excited. I trust her. Cool. I take her hand.
Nothing higher
Show
than
me
a
a whole
10.
new world. Let's go into
And
the portal.
She leads you
Goodbye.
into this portal, and you guys both enter it. You feel this like almost this like
dead.
Yo!
this wave of heat come over you as you pass through it, and as you enter it, the world goes dark, and it takes some minutes before things start to kind of come back into like focus, and you find yourself on this like stretch of road, but it's not that. It's something else. It's all these lines that are passing by you like ribbons stretching off into a distance. Each step kind of feels like it pulls back into the ground, as if these ribbons that you walk on are made of something elastic and they don't want to give up your footsteps. Like walking through mud. You see a distant light that all of these white ribbons frayed kind of travel towards. But it's a distance, it's a ways off. And you can feel the hesitation in McCath. No. We shouldn't be here. Let's turn around.
Yeah.
I need you
I'm gonna-
do a strength check.
You're the worst. Why would you do that to me?
You can't roll over a 10.
Yay!
You better
I
roll
rolled above a
good.
10. I have a negative modifier. Let's
Wow.
go. Thank you, DM. Literally the only thing I can't do in the game is roll and do strength.
McCath turns to head back towards the way you came, and you refuse to move. What are you doing? We need a return. Please. She pulls on you. Do another strength check.
Is this strength or wisdom? Like, is he like...
He's asking strength.
You get the sense of danger around you, and you're able to finally break your feet loose of whatever was holding you to this ribbon, and you make it back through the portal. You find yourself back into this room.
Do I have any sense of where I just was? Or is that the first time I've ever been on that plane?
You
Totally cool for me to be on the first time. I'm just asking.
You there's parts of it parts of it that are familiar. But altogether, it's like plopping down into a new town and understanding you have no idea where you're at, but there's enough familiar about it where, like, yeah. And then the night comes in and you're lost in it and you're terrified. That's what it felt like.
Cool.
McCath is just looking at you. There's more to him. In over 1,000 years, this has never happened. Be wary.
Great. Now I have to question those that I travel with. Well, Bakath, do you know any other information that you can give me about him? He's been talking to you quite a bit. He's been very shut off from the rest of us.
No. He talks too much to be shut off, I assume. But
well, then he's more cunning than one would assume.
There's certainly history to his name. And I think you need to bear in mind that one of those tomes seemed more interested in him than he is of himself.
Is it a danger to him and us, or is this something that I merely need to just keep an eye on?
Look at the world around you. Everything's a danger. No. Keep an eye. Keep an eye out on everybody. You seemed almost petrified to talk about your brother. Keep an eye out on everybody.
Well, I can do that.
And I can tell, even with my lack of sight, you're familiar with crossing these plains. I've seen that glow where your eye used to be. You're not new to this.
No, I'm not. I know a very, very small fraction of some of the horrors that lie on other planes and that try and claw their way to ours, which is why, for now, I'm attempting to prevent one of those such beings from getting their way.
Shame you had to pay such a heavy price. That's a curse laid upon your body. Let's head back upstairs, please.
Very well.
You follow a path up these winding stairs back into the light of the day. I will be leaving you all now. Seems as though you're all destined to follow the Drakenhorn, to commit yourself to the good of the world. In the end, there will be research to be done. whether you win or lose. That is the sad truth. But the Arcane Brotherhood, thank you for your service.
Will we be able to return here in the future? Should we be in need of your research?
This is a place of learning, and we're always open to those who are willing to learn. Mm-hmm. No, you're always welcome. She kind of pinches your cheek.
Oh, okay.
Especially, you may be dense and too forward, but you do have a quest for knowledge, and you will. I trust that you will follow it to its completion. I look forward to seeing what you become.
On our way out, are there any? You said my brother was looking for the enchanters to maybe do a task for him. Would there also be any mages maybe selling spell scrolls who create spell scrolls and will be willing to part with them for a fee?
Yeah, if they're simple enough, they can do that. Like
nothing higher than like some level 2 or 3 spells.
Probably. Oh, there's no level 3 spells. Certainly no level 3 spells that they're selling. But level 1s and 2s, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I would love to take a look at what they have.
Cool. I'm glad you brought this up now and not when I asked for the shopping list.
I put it in the shopping list.
Did you? All right. Well, then we're good.
Well,
anybody else?
Well, the shopping list would be like I need to see what they have and then choose if I was going to purchase one of these or like which spells they have.
Anybody else?
I think I don't. There's nothing I need to purchase at this moment, especially.
Yeah, nothing that I didn't put in my the list.
Okay. So you guys are good to kind of move back towards the ship?
Yeah, as long as I don't need to RP the enchanter stuff or anything like that.
I would like to RP purchasing the spell scrolls real quick. There's a part of it that I think needs RPing for me because it's new.
Okay, where's that at? Can you send it again?
So I want to go looking for spell scrolls. My goal here, whatever we find them, is one of I think I'll take out the one spell scroll that I have, which is a spell scroll for Dimension Door, and I'll take out my spell book, and I'll say I think with some of the study that I had with Mikath on the ship, if I have the right level spell, I can, if it's within my skill, I can transcribe a spell that I
/W
find. I can transcribe that spell into my spell book and add it to the spells that I have available to me. And I'm saying this to like the group and everybody. And I'm also looking at the spell that they have offered. So it's a way for me now as I go further in the arcane as a wizard to add a lot of abilities and utilities to my repertoire. And one of the things I put on the list, our shopping list, was I requested 2,000 golds worth of fine inks and paper that are used specifically for entering spells into spell books. I just need to then find the spell itself, and then I can copy it. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
As long as the spell within the that a wizard can do, I can learn it essentially this way.
Well, I don't have any spell scrolls to offer you,
That's why I was trying to see.
DW. So
I was trying to see if I can go purchase some while we're here with
Kath,
so many learned people.
Kath looks at you. What you're asking for is quite a bit for the interns that are open to the public. Although we open ourselves for trade amongst the ports, I believe maybe I can help you if you are willing to give me more than what you're willing to offer. No, I'm sorry. I misspoke. There is a certain consideration I would like you to make for me to do this.
Okay.
Would you like me to get to work?
What's the consideration?
Well, this will take quite a bit of my knowledge. What did you expect to pay?
I think it would be 100 gold is the going rate for
Oof.
per spell scroll per level.
It's gonna. We trade more in knowledge than gold here.
Have I finished my book at this point, DM?
I don't think so, because you hadn't mentioned anything about finishing your book.
Well, I only sleep 4 hours a day, so I said I was reading it whenever I'm not working or
So
reading.
then you would let me know.
I don't know how thick it is. Given how
So
we've been
then-
traveling
so
for
then no.
like 2 weeks in
So
the
then
air,
no.
and okay, 4 hours a day minimum, I guess. Okay. What knowledge are you? I have a book. I don't know if this is of value to what you guys have, but I have a book of the Sword Coast, creatures of the Sword Coast.
We're an institution.
I'm just telling you what I have.
Millennia years old. No, it is adorable. I would like to help you. I find your quest for this to be quite intriguing, and it reminds me of myself when in my younger, dumber days.
Thank you.
Oh, indeed. You will, when your venture comes to an end, you will come and bring me back your book. You will openly share with us the things that you learned. What I want in repayment is your future. You know, be a prison.
Biography?
Sure. You have ambition and drive, and you're going to go out into this world and you're going to go collect those things that make you stronger. I'm interested in those things too. So long as you promise to bring those back to me, to share with the Arcane Brotherhood, I feel like that would be. I think that would be a fine arrangement. We have agreement?
Sure. I'm not sure what value I have, what items that I will personally have that you will find interesting. But
He pulls out this dagger, just runs it across her hand.
Oh God, one of these.
Please, put your hand out.
Wait, which hand does she extend? Because
yeah, I was gonna be like metal hand.
Here we go. Sorry, I just thought that was funny.
Yeah,
no, that was.
That's what I thought too. She was like, she just cut her left hand. I'm like, I guess left hand. Oh, here's some rust.
Yeah, here's some metal slivers.
I'm gonna do. I want. I'm going to do it, but I want to just insight check to make sure this isn't like a genie, like pact kind of thing. Like
Okay.
if I'm about to get like vibes of like selling my soul kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. No,
right.
you just think it's a totally legit blood pact between you and a Arcane Brotherhood red tiefling. Nothing cool. Ready?
Yeah. I'll pull out one of my daggers and cut myself. Does it matter which dagger?
No. It's this dagger, and it's this like, and it's made of obsidian. You can see it chipped away on both sides.
I do it, but I'm making notes for my next character to never make these deals.
Right, and you shake hands with McCath.
God damn it!
She
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see you soon enough.
So we made the deal. Am I gonna get options for spell scrolls, or like would I just make a blood pack for no reason?
Oh, I don't have those prepared. Give me a minute. We'll bring him down to the dock tomorrow.
All right. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. All right, should we take a break, or are we gonna? How we doing?
I'm good
I could
with a
pee.
break and then come back. But
Same here.
All right, we're gonna take a break right now. Thank you all.
yee.
And when David goes back to the camera, it'll slip back the display.
I'm ready whenever. I'll just turn my camera back on when I'm done eating.
Right, but because it slipped your position in Discord, it flipped it on my thing, and I don't want to redraw things right now.
Mm-hmm.
So Viva's sitting in your spot, and your icon is sitting in Viva's spot. All right, we're back to live though.
Back and we live?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So where do we leave off? So I guess where we left off is it seems McCath isn't quite done with you all yet. Although you guys, some of you start making your way towards Tom Petty. She directs Val to a section of the Haas Tower in which you see like these laid out areas in which you see many workers of the Arcane Brotherhood seemingly working together, doing enchantments, doing fine pedigree work, doing all these different things as they build items, work on items and stuff. And she leads you over here because mainly so she can tell you that this is in the area in which she's going to work on this item with their help.
Okay. I'll produce the Draconis Fundamentium that we harvested from the White Dragon to be the basis of the enchantment.
Many of them gather around you, surrounding you in these cloaks. When they take these items from you, McCath speaks to him in this like hushed whispered. It's a language you don't quite understand, and they disappear into like. Would you like to understand?
I mean, I'm just letting you know, just in case. I know Celestial, Common, Draconic, Elvish, Infernal, and Sylvan.
Oh, so maybe you do. You do understand. Okay, so it seems as though she's given directions about the manufacturing of this item. It's new. She's encouraging them in some manner to take the breath of these things that they're giving you, encouraging them to use the knowledge that they have to enchant, to take the chances in which they'd find themselves most successful.
Okay. And I'll also produce the payment on top of it, just to make sure all of my boxes are checked.
Okay.
And so I've marked that off of the party funds and everything, and from the bag of holding.
Anybody else?
And I will head back towards the ship.
I'll just go up and ask McCath. Is there? I know that primarily this town is academic, but do you happen to know of a temple to any of the gods here? Specifically, I'm looking for Tyr.
It is rare that you would find even a place like this, rooted in knowledge, that does not pay its respects to the gods that came before. It is undeniable that they work hand in hand. No, there are many, many temples here, even within the walls of science. But the Temple of Tyr,
Yes.
she points up to a hill just beyond the city. The Temple of Tyr, there. It won't take you long to get there. Hold on. I have someone that can take you there. And she
Okay.
turns, makes a call to someone in one of the shorter stature members of the Arcane Brotherhood, dressed in a cloak, comes up to you. He looks up to you, and there you see like his cloak kind of slip backwards. It's kind of like a dwarven figure, big beard, white. I'll take you there, miss. We'll head out right now.
I would appreciate that a lot. I'll turn to the rest of the group. Would anyone like to join?
I've completed all of my errands, so if you need accompaniment, I can go.
It's either
I'll leave it up to you. I mean,
do you want us all to go, or I can stay back and try doing more research in the library.
yeah, it won't take me long to do what I need to do, but I do need to go.
All right. I'll go with you then.
Val or Valen? All right, Valen's.
I think I'm going back on the ship.
Okay. Valen heads back to the ship, and then Val and Astrid continue up this way. There are points where you're walking up this path through this city kind of set on a hill. A lot of it is at an incline. You see much of it's merchant. You start to kind of get ahead. You know where you kind of know where you're headed, but you get ahead of your guide. Every once in a while, he gives you you take it as a subtle notification that you're supposed to be following him. As he kind of waddles up his way up these winding streets.
I mean no disrespect, master or brother dwarf. Would you like to? And I'll produce the
dwarf.
Dwarf?
Excuse me? No, I am brother Astwin. You do not call me by my race. What manner of life did you grow up in which you define somebody by their stature and their oof? No.
He really likes doing this to us. Gave us no name for the character. And I'm just trying to be okay, whatever.
Is that how you try to be? He just kind of crosses his fingers and sits down.
Sits down.
It's not hard for him to sit down. He's real close to you.
Astrid will give a smile and forgive him, Brother Aswin. As you can tell, he spent many years in the woods, which tends to do something to someone's manners.
Right, I can tell. Imagine calling you Brother Elf or whatever it is that you are. Go on. Anyways, I'm sure you could teach him manners. Follow me. the trek is now much slower because you have to follow behind him. Eventually, you get to like this peak of this cliff face, and he walks you up to this temple. It's kind of like a rough hewn stone. It's not nearly like you maybe expected marble-ish carved statues and stuff, but this is a little bit more rigid. My lady, this is the Temple of Tyr. It looks upon the waters of the Sword Coast. I will leave you here to do what you feel is necessary. And he kind of bows and...
Thank you, brother. It's beautiful. I'll walk in.
I'll respectfully stand by the door.
You hear under the breath of... You're not going to go inside?
Why is it no matter what choices we make, you're gonna like come at us with something? I'm trying to be respectful. I don't know her god, so I'm not to not be rude. And do anything. I'm going to stand outside instead of walking in and potentially screwing up what she wants to do.
Okay, sorry. Never mind.
Is there anybody around as I walk in?
It's fairly empty.
Okay. I'll just slowly wander up towards, I assume there's like a main area just towards the front of that. And sit and just kind of stare at I'm assuming there's some icon of Tyr at the front. And she'll pray for the captain, as he also was, as she can gathered, was a follower of Tyr. And pray for, if he is alive, his safety, and if he has passed, pray for his peace. And then once she's done, she'll look around. Does she see anybody around? Like any sort of temple attendant or anything?
There are a few figures that kind of like who are dressed in like I want to say robes again, but they kind of look like nuns. They got like these white, right? And they're taking pools of water. They go into these fountains of the waters that are outside, and then they bring that water back inside, and then they pour it into these kind of lecterns and onto the statues. The water like drips through, and then they kind of flow throughout different carvings and stuff inside of the temple.
I don't know. She'll do one round with them.
You
breaking
pick
the
up
water in.
you kind of pick up on the ritual
Mhm.
and how they come to the water. They put their hands underneath. They from their hands, their cupped hands, they pour it into these buckets, and then they take it, and then they kind of it's the repetitiveness of it that you recognize as a religious act.
Yeah.
It's as if how some places maybe light candles and do prayers and a rosemary. You get into line and you start doing these same motions. You gather the water, you cup it in your hands, you pour it into this thing, then you take it and you put it on the statues and then watch it drip through. And then you follow the flow of the water back outside, in which you cup your hands, you pour it into a bucket, you take it inside, you pour it on the statue, and you do this time and time again until you feel appeased with the ritual. You feel like the warmth when you would come outside, you feel the warmth of the sun hit you, and then when you come inside, you feel like the cold. It's almost cyclical, life and death, as you repeat this thing over and over again.
Once I've done that to my fill, I'll just sit back down. And just she doesn't particularly want to speak out loud, but just loud enough to where she would know Tyr would hear without anybody else. She'll just pray for strength that she doesn't have. And that's about it.
Okay.
I'll once she's kind of done all that, she'll walk back out to where Val and Aswin are waiting. Aswin?
Aswin, yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready if you are.
Yeah. Do you finish all of your prayers? Is that what you do here?
Prayers, yes. While treating Lechamp, I found that the captain also prayed to Tyr, so I prayed for his soul. And then, as you can see from my emblem, and I'll gesture to the cuff that's on my arm, I too pray to Tyr. So it has been a while since I visited his temple, and I needed to do what I needed to do.
Very well. Did not know that about the captain. It seems you two really were kindred spirits.
Yes. Shame that I was not able to spend more time learning about him. For he seemed to be a very old soul.
Yeah. I would have liked to gotten to spend some time with them too. But I'm sure it helps that you were able to offer your prayers for them. And if we're lucky, they'll help him. And I'll follow. Astrid out.
Yep. Lead the way, brother.
He marches back down these hills much quicker now. Gravity helps him. But he gets to like the main fairway of the city. The Arcane Brotherhood is to his left, and at that point he kind of just like bows his head, and at least he bows his head to you, Astrid, as he turns and walks back to that amazing structure in the middle of the city.
I'll thank him as he walks away. And then
before you really get a chance, he's kind of like gone into this wave of people who are like bustling around doing the things that poor people would do.
You know those poor people.
Yeah, poor people.
As we're walking back, I'll turn to Valen. Not Valen. Val, I'm sorry.
I will be on the ship.
Yes. Sorry. I'll turn to Val and as we're walking, just say, you asked me a question. And McCaff has inspired me to do a trade of information. I'll answer the question that you asked if you answer my question in return.
Seems a fair trade. What is the question?
How did you get that?
That being
his weird glowing eye thing.
And you point up to his face, this carved ruin in his face, not sporadic, not rare, like not. It is precise. It is intricate.
Right. It looks methodical and intentional. Not something that would come naturally.
Yeah, it was methodical and intentional. And unfortunately for me, the methods and intentions behind it were not ones of good intent. This is the remnants of my capture, my torture, and eventually my breaking, and being formed into a weapon with no will and a fragmented mind. As you might have heard, I was lost, and I only just recently joined this group. But for a while before that, I was under the control of someone else and was used as a weapon and have been so for quite some time. However, my most recent operation was to infiltrate this group and potentially cause harm, disrupt their plans, and make sure that the plans of those who were in control of me succeeded. However, through some actions of those in this group, I apparently have regained my consciousness and my will. but as you can see, the curse remains. It's a remnant of something that had happened. Unfortunately, I don't know all that had happened or all that this mark bears, but it's unfortunately the mark that I bear.
Curse is always a hard thing to get.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I'm currently looking for is the ones who did this to me. So.
Are they associated with whomever we're chasing?
If only through minor connections. I'm not entirely sure. I'm keeping my eye out for more information on these connections, but I don't have any hard evidence that is directly linking them in any specific way, but I have my doubts and my suspicions.
Understood.
So what about you? The dragon set it off, and it's been nagging at me ever since, but you kind of, you don't give off the same kind of presence as everyone else. And I don't know if this is fortunate for you or not, but due to my past, I'm also more attuned to these kinds of things.
Your instincts are correct. I'm not primarily of this world that you live in. I, similar to you, have walked many planes, but I call a different one home. Now I fear that if I tell you, you must not make sure it spreads far. Because there's those within the other realm that might like to know where I am.
I can assure you I'm fairly good at keeping most secrets, and I'm not stranger to having those nipping at my heels. But
I'm gonna find it in my notes. I'm sorry. Well, then I'll give you some information and see what you can do with it. My mother was from the mountains of Adar. Though I did not grow up there. I grew up. I don't have it written down on the words. Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm ruining it.
Fine. No. What? There's a pause as you hesitate to open your past, and your companions, the city around you, starts to feel the sense of dread rise over them. Below your feet, you feel this faint rumbling. It's a feeling you've felt once before. It seems as though somewhere in this world, the Draken horn has been sounded once again. And as people throughout Luskin run for cover, you all you all are accustomed to this, and instead of running for cover, running for a doorway or whatever, you guys kind of like get into a stance, ready to fight.
Well,
in mind-
Astrid,
Keep in mind, I'm just buying time for Astrid.
Yeah.
she's
I'm
literally
looking
on the
at-
wiki page, like, okay, where do I go
Yeah,
to find
no,
this?
that's right.
I'm sorry.
Um,
I thought
no,
I
that-
wrote it down.
I was
Astrid, we
trying to
may,
play it cool. I was trying to play it cool.
No, you're good. Thank you. I
Astrid,
could have
we-
sworn I wrote it
I
down.
just
but I
like
didn't.
they're gonna have this like awkward. There's gonna be a slight pause. There's gonna be the dragon horns like bellows, and then she's gonna go back to telling her story and just like nothing happened.
And I'm
So,
from the
so my
no,
dad's
no,
actually
no.
from here, and just continue on. As
Astrid, we may need to hold off on this story for another time. Let's go find everybody else.
Everyone's
You guys-
screaming like it's the end of
Probably
the
the best
world. The
plan.
sky is falling, and
The
Astrid's
dragon
like,
horn
"No."
seems to be continuing to go off. Let's meet up with everyone else.
You head
Were
back
you
to
able
the
to
ship.
detect what direction?
Yeah,
It is
I don't know.
southeast of you, which
Oh,
is
okay.
everywhere because you guys are on the northwest coast of
Right.
the entire Solar Coast.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it still gives us the general direction.
Way more south than where you're at.
Got it.
You make it to the ship and you see the crew ready. It seems like they've made several repairs.
I mean, we're at least staying for a day because we gotta get our stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys have a chance as you dock your Thompetti.
Do I find violent? If I would have left the library when the dragon horn sounded and made it back to the ship.
I assumed you already were there, but go ahead.
Okay, it's fine. Valen, do we have enough food and stuff stocked up, or should we have also requested that from the docks?
No, I already requested a dock and then refilled the everything supplies.
Okay. Do you want to start?
You walk down and you see Usk and Valen both going through all the food supplies, organizing. It was Usk's job before Valen took it over.
Crap.
Oh, that dog is eating someone.
That's right.
No. So Valen and Usk are down there. Arendor is on top. He's kind of like climbing up the posts, making sure that the attachments to the balloon and stuff are safe. You actually are surprised a little bit to see LeChamp standing at the top deck, manning the wheel, surveying her ship and her crew. She acknowledges you, too, as you guys come up. Looks like it isn't over yet. It
No.
was very Russian when I said it
Yeah.
instead of Jamaican. What happened? Well, so what happened is when she got the piercing through her.
No, don't change it up just because she got bit by a dragon. Don't start
Got
that.
bit by a Russian dragon. No.
No.
Oh no.
She. Well, no. It seems like we are. Nope. Fuck. What happened to her? Gone.
Go watch a YouTube video or something real
Dude,
quick.
yeah.
Oh, wait.
Gotta go play Apex real quick.
Remember, see beer can. And
Beer can.
Yeah, there you go.
Better open all the beer cans because
What?
beer can. It's a code. It means you guys go ahead and talk downstairs about the thing you need to talk about. We have just enough time. Beer
Oh.
can.
You mean
For you and me.
extending the invitation to the ship crew?
Yeah.
I
No.
I haven't break it to us because I know how he is gonna react. So I suggest strongly talk to First Mate first because otherwise I think the plan's gonna fall apart very quickly.
Thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we have to, so were you telling me and Astrid to go
Yes.
finish?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still resupplying the ship, but like I basically made a gesture and whispered to you guys that if we gonna, I mean, if looks like we don't have much time on hand, so if we gonna extend the invitation, this would be the time to do it now.
Got it. We will. We're gonna, I guess, retcon / just finish the conversation that Ashton and I were finishing up, just because we're trying to fill some dead air and whatnot. So I guess we'll just say this is before the Drakenhorn.
Jesus Christ! No, right now you're on the ship. You guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
You understand that the Drakenhorn has been going on for weeks. There's not like a sense of danger that is attacking you right now.
Yeah, impending doom. Just
Okay.
doom on the horizon.
Uncompared to everybody else, you guys are like, again, Drakenhorn. All right, it's still going. Fuck.
All right.
And you guys can continue this conversation.
So
look at the ghost fucking with Alex's thing.
Right. So you were saying that you grew up where at?
A couple of places, but mostly.
There's no good way into any of this. Jesus Christ, I'm so
growing up where at?
How else are you gonna start this conversation when you're like, oh shit, get back to the fucking deck or get back to the ship, and then like the fucking horn's going. Anyways,
finish our conversation before we were so rudely interrupted by these idiot
goddamn Drakenhorn.
These stupid dick bags.
I grew up multiple places, but I would say the place I call home is the Sharn.
The Sharn, where is that? I don't think I've been to anywhere where that's a thing.
Have you ever heard of the nation of Corvare? Have you? Roll for it. Do it.
Okay.
I dare you.
I have to roll for it.
He's not gonna get above a 10. He's not. Nope. Told you.
Sorry.
At this point, I feel like David's being targeted.
Wait, no one's.
No, I don't think I've heard of that nation before. Unfortunately. I mean, the multiverse is a very large place.
Well, then you must have heard of. Oh. Well, then you must have heard of Eberron because your brother's hand comes from it.
Oh, that's where that's from. Huh. No, we got that from our friend Zaragos, who I think did he put us in touch with you?
No.
That was the Harper. Well, no, we got that arm from a friendly shopkeep that we know. However, funny story. The reason we needed said arm might be related to this.
So you did complete your mission.
She while you're gone, she had asked if he was familiar with Eberron, in which he was not, which your brother was not, but they're commenting on your arm. She recognized the technology.
Oh. Am I there?
No.
No, I'm just filling you in on the story that you missed.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, just trying to help Kate with Ezra.
No, that's all right. I just want to make sure you didn't miss it.
Cool.
The teeth.
I love it, bro.
Yeah, old Papa. Yeah. So his arm is from Eberron. You're from Eberron.
Did you not know his arm was?
No. It seemed to fit a need that we had. In all honesty, we were presented a couple of options in order to try and rectify the issue that we were encountering, and it was just the nicest one out of the options. I think one of them was literally just a stick at one point. I felt a little bad for doing that to my brother. Only a little, but I felt like he was just going to complain too much about not having a hand, so I convinced the group to kind of splurge a little for him. But it's interesting to know that came from your world. It must be a technically advanced place. Much.
The technology is distinct. That's the only reason I know.
Very well. But yeah, no. Eberron is not one of the places that I've been. I've made it out to Faye and another world on the material plane. It was Exandria. It's actually where I picked up this little trick, and I'll manifest my echo. I didn't get to spend too much time there, but I don't remember all of it. Those are the two that stick out to me. Again, as I said, some of this is a little fuzzy. I don't quite have all of that in my. It's not all of my memories are accessible to me.
It's all right. I mean, I've heard of it. I've heard of it a couple times. Possibly been there, but I don't, as you would say, I don't remember. So there are a lot of places that I've been, just briefly, that I don't, so much so that I don't quite remember. But I have heard of it.
What was your reason for hopping planes?
I, for a while, traded and ran goods.
You didn't happen to bring my brother's arm here, did you?
No, not.
Well, I can see that's where you got your where you got your uniquely shiny skin there.
Sometimes things get lost in the shuffle.
Very well. Yeah. Thanks for being open about this, Astrid. I know it's not easy being open. Sometimes, not sure why, but you do seem to give off some sort of the feeling of somebody who's been hurt before. Much like I think everyone in our group so far. So just know that I got your back.
There's a sense of connection between these two people that have just kind of admitted to plane hopping, doing this task that is unknown to the world around them. You share this one very rare feat, and you have this in common. Over the next several hours, the ship is loaded up with its goods. You don't have much more tasks left in the Luskin. The Red Brotherhood including McCath, comes up to you and presents one of the items that you had asked for specifically. It's this bag of holding, and it kind of like seeps. It kind of like bellows cold air, this frosty mist all around it. Perpetually cold, even in the heat of the sun. McCath, this is an interesting item, and likely we will make more of them for the Sword Coast. So thank you for this idea. This one we present to you free of charge for the service you have done to the Arcane Brotherhood. She kind of returns to you the expenditures that you guys may have originally spent on this. Like we said, it is more about trading knowledge than it is financial goods and gains. Thank you.
I'll accept the item and give my thanks back. I hope if and when we can make it back this way, we'll have more knowledge to share.
Well, I would like to say I'll see you again, but
I'll slightly like flicker the eye and see if she notices it.
no.
Okay.
May the gods protect you, M&A. And her brotherhood move slowly away from you as you guys start to like drift back out into the open air.
Wait, did I never get any spell scrolls?
Yeah, sure, you got some. Were you not paying attention?
I just sat back down.
Yeah, there's all kinds. They're like, look at your feet. Look down. Yeah, there they are. The items that you were waiting for, you guys got. We're moving on. God damn it.
Okay.
By this time, the ship is ready to go.
Yeah, Thom Petty is in the air. You guys are moving on. You guys continue your path down south along the Sword Coast, passing over one place that they kind of it draws your attention. This is the map. You pass over Neverwinter, and both Liam and Valen take a moment to kind of realize that this was the start of their journey. That they had met Neverwinter and taken the high road down towards Phandalin months and months and months ago. As you guys continue down into Waters Deep. It will be about a week until you approach Waters Deep, and I think that probably would be a good time for this session to end.
Okay. I'm just gonna say while we're traveling, we can do it next week. Okay. I would just say before we end up at Waters Deep, I would have contacted Shyvanas. We're airborne.
No.
Huh?
Let's do it. No, let's do it now.
Okay. I didn't want to like delay things if people wanted to like break now, but we have a sending stone that Shyvanas has the other one, so I'm like, we're going past Phandalin just to make sure everything's okay. Does anyone like in the group generally have any questions about anything in Phandalin while we are heading south and passing relatively close to Phandalin. Val, Valen, Astrid, I know you were only there like once with us, but did
Been
anyone
there
have
for
it?
like an hour.
Right. Anything at Wave Echo? Anything? Okay.
As far as I know, my stuff has not had enough time to complete.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yep, no, has not been enough time, I don't think.
You're still gonna contact her, right?
Yeah, I am. So I'm going to
Okay.
contact Shyvanis, and so it's 25 words. Hi, Shyvanis. This is Darking. We were unsuccessful with securing the Drakenhorn. We are still pursuing it, heading to Waterdeep now, crossing by Phandalin in the next day or so. How's things there? I think that's 25-ish.
They came looking for you. And they tore red limb from limb.
What?
They're looking for you.
Oh no.
We had to stop in Phandalin. I let the crew know.
Yep.
I let the crew know we have to stop in Phandalin. Something's happened there. It's urgent.
Then let's go. Did you talk to
Yeah, I know.
Shyvanis and Red?
I just heard from Shyvanis. I let everyone
What
know.
happened?
Like, Shyvanis sounded weak. It sounds like they someone was there. Something's happened in Phandalin. I don't really understand. Something happened to Red. We can't go straight to Waterdeep. We have to stop in Phandalin. We can't abandon Phandalin
Tom
here.
Petty, like, kind of adverts its path towards Waterdeep and heads over the Neverwinter Woods towards Phandalin. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Nice.
Well, shit.
Good job, guys.
The fuck happened to Phandalin, man?
Man, that was supposed to let us know if anything bad happened situation.
I was not expecting my comment earlier would become a foreshadow of what happened, man. Jesus.
Oh,
There's a
man.
bunch of good shit in there.
Well,
I want to clarify. I'm not just fucking with you guys. Like,
I know.
I know. I got the sense. Okay, I just want to clarify. I'm not just fucking with you guys. I'm trying to. There was maybe in our first earlier times that like, yeah, it was fun to fuck with you guys. What I'm trying to do now is not that. So please don't take any hardship in the things that I'm doing or saying as they're intentionally pointed to just fuck with you guys.
All right. Thanks, everybody who's on stream.
Oh, this means he's getting serious. He don't want this shit to be on stream.
Well, I didn't know if you were going to go any further, so I was just like, I didn't know.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm in trouble.
No.
What a night.
I didn't know if you want to. It was good.
Good luck to me.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm gonna get lectured.
Nope. Good night, everybody.